Sul Simmers, my name is Darth Jeswick and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be building a one-room farmhouse with a huge barn on this Palomino Junction lot in Chestnut Ridge. It's the world that came with the Horse Ranch expansion pack. I occasionally like to play like some gardening and taking care of animals just in my free time, so this is what I built for us, and I just ended up playing in it for like maybe a couple hours because it was just too much. I got us way too many animals at first, and there was just so many plants that I couldn't even like plant them all right away. It took me like 2 days to plant all the plants. And I was like flat broke because I tried to do it as a rags to riches challenge too, so I just had the house and then like no money, which was not really good because I had to hire a ranch hand, but I also only had 2 Sims in my household, so I was like literally having them run around and take care of all the animals and try to garden and do everything else, and it was just a chaotic nightmare. So now that we've got the exteriors of the barn and the house already set, I'm going to start working on the interior of the one-room cabin. I wanted it to be like really old-timey, and a lot of the older like cabins would have just one room, and then it was easier to heat that way, easier to like take care of and clean. And I built the cabin on a diagonal just for the extra challenge of it because I wanted to, torture myself. I hate building on diagonals, but I thought it would be fun for this one. Especially with the counters and the kitchen, you can tell it's kind of like glitching a little bit when I place the refrigerator. I could have like scooched it over, I just didn't really think about it. We have a bed from Horse Ranch, and then the little ottoman is also from Horse Ranch, and I believe both of the chairs are also. Maybe the one with the blanket on it is from the basement kit, I can't really remember. There's so many like new kits and packs out now. I don't even have the 2 newest kits yet. I'm waiting until Monday when I get paid. So I'll do my review on Monday and have it out to you guys, hopefully by Tuesday. I feel like I've been so busy that I haven't really been able to play very much. I want to do another like Wednesdays with the Waffle episodes for this upcoming week because I missed this last week. But I just feel like I have so much going on. My kid has t-ball tonight, so that's fun. I just haven't really been at home to play very much, like pretty much just long enough to like start my game up and do the daily reward claim and then shut down my computer. Yesterday we got a necklace from the rewards thing that they've been doing. I kind of like it. It almost looks like something that would go in like the werewolves pack. So it's okay. I don't know how often I'll use it, but it's there if I want to. I was having such a hard time with these roofs, getting them to line up with like everything because their like diagonal roofs are really weird, and I ended up just deleting it for a while and then like replacing everything and it was just a struggle. We can't have stairs on diagonal houses anyway, so I ended up just like putting it on a one foundation and calling it good. I wanted there to be a small back porch just so it was easier for them to get to the outhouse. The table and the chairs from the kitchen are both from Cottage Living, and I was debating on whether or not to use the Cottage Living fridge or the Country Kitchen Kit fridge. I ended up using the Country Kitchen one because it comes in this nice little baby blue color. It also has a matching stove, and they also look a lot more antique than the other ones. The other refrigerator from the Cottage Living one looks like it could be from like the 70s or 80s. And then in the like living room sleeping area, I also added these rugs from the Laundry Day pack. Even though the Country Kitchen Kit sink doesn't really match the rest of the counters, I'm still going to use it because I like the sink. As for activities, I wanted to use the knitting basket, the crochet basket. We've got like the handiness table. We've got a lot of activities to do here. I didn't really have time to do any of them because I was too busy taking care of animals. The save was very short-lived. I really didn't play in it for that long, maybe like 5 hours total. I was also just having a lot of issues saving this house to the gallery for some reason. I really don't know why, but my whole gallery got purged in the recent update, so I don't know what was up with that, which is really unfortunate because I don't have any of my tester sims. And like I lost all of the houses that I had on there that I hadn't posted yet, so yeah, I was really upset. But I'll just have to rebuild them, I guess, so that I can post them on the gallery and you guys can download them if you want to. If you're looking for my gallery, it's just Darth_Jeswick, just like it appears here on YouTube. I'm also adding in the new grill from the Horse Ranch pack. I also like the one from the For Rent pack that's like a cart. I really love that one. So adding an ottoman next to the main chair just for a little bit more seating. We don't really have a lot in here. I mean, there kind of is. There's like 4 seats with the ottoman next to the bed and then all the dining room chairs. So it's not really too much seating, but it also like could be a lot more. Like we could have had a couch in here probably, but I thought chairs were better. I also added in a sign so that I could kind of get an idea of where I wanted our landscaping to be. We also got these shutters from the Horse Ranch expansion pack, so I'm going to use those on all of our windows here. The windows are not really even on the front and the back of the house, but we're just going to have to ignore that. Basically had to alt place all the windows because I was having a lot of like weird glitches in this build. I don't know what is up with my game. I think it was just because it was before the update. But let's get into the barn area now. I'm just placing a door so that we can go down into the basement and get upstairs to the actual like attic area where I have some space for ranch hands. And in the basement, we'll have like a little wine cellar area. But for now, we're just gonna get in some horse items here, as well as some chickens. I wanted to make sure that we had chickens, we had some goats. We also have like some other livestock from the cottage living pack, like the goats, or the cow and the llama, not the goats. The goats are from Horse Ranch. We'll also get a few sheep, so they'll be bouncing around when we do our playtesting. Right now, I'm just placing some columns, like 2 tiles out from the barn. There's actually like a roof like that overhangs the 2 tiles, so I just wanted to make sure that we have like a little covered area for our chickens, and then I also put like some hay and other things on the other side of the build. I was trying to figure out where I wanted to have the chickens, but I figured they need a little bit more space, so I ended up making this whole first pen, I guess, the whole chicken coop area, and then I moved the grill. And then the second area there is for the goats and the sheep. They have a little bit of a smaller area, but we can always just like unlock the gate and let them roam around the whole lot. That's usually just what happens anyway. All your animals just kind of end up free roaming because the lock systems, at least in my game, are really messed up, so you can't really lock the door without them just randomly escaping. I'm also going to use this saddle decoration right by our horse stables, and then I added a little stool next to it just to make it seem like maybe they need a stool to step up and put the saddle on. I also added the jewelry box from the Crystal Creation stuff pack, just kind of like tucked in the dresser. I thought that was really cool. I figured she would have some jewelry, maybe not a lot, but some. And behind the house, I have our little outhouse here. It's going to be kind of like a tin outhouse. I'm going to use the werewolf's roof, and then we'll add like a few decorations on top of the roof, just like the little pipe. Because I do want to put a fireplace in here, just because I feel like you would use the fireplace to pour hot water in your bath, especially in this time. Although I feel like the bathtub would probably be inside in those situations, but you know, oh well. I didn't really have that much space for it. I'm also going to give them a sink from the Laundry Day stuff pack, and then the squat toilet from the For Rent pack. But that was about it for the little outhouse there. I'm also going to add in a few pieces of landscaping here. Not all of it, just a few like areas where I know I want trees. And then I ended up fencing in the entire property just because I didn't want our animals to escape. Moving down into the basement though, I'm using a Country Kitchen Kit wallpaper and then a Jungle Adventure stone for the flooring. And then I also used a base game wallpaper on the outside just so the outside blends into the void and isn't distracting for you. And this is going to be our wine cellar, so I'm going to have like a bunch of these like wine crates so that we can age our nectar down there because it ages faster in the basement. So I've got some crates of wine and then also the wine barrels down here. I really didn't do too much decoration, and then I also added like a little desk and then like the notebook object, as well as like a chair, just so it looks like maybe he was, keeping track of all of the wine and like the dates or something. I don't know. They didn't have computers in this time, so I figured the notebook was best. We also got the Home Chef Hustle market table. I want them to be able to sell like all the stuff that they've grown and crafted, and it still functions exactly like it normally would when it's under the roof, so that's great. Or you could literally run your business out of your garage at your Sim's house. That would be really cool. I'm also going to add in the radio from the Horse Ranch pack. I figured if it came with Horse Ranch, it was okay to use for our Sims. And then we don't have coolers in this time, so I took one of the actual storage boxes and kind of like placed it over it. I'm going to add in a few barn lights in the stable, and then I think I'm going to add a card table also, just because I feel like that's something they would totally have. And I'm just going to go through and do some more decorating here. I've got these base game like crates with some fruit, so I figured that would be appropriate down here. I wasn't necessarily trying to limit the number of packs that I built, but I was trying to stick to Horse Ranch, Cottage Living, and then like the Laundry Day stuff pack, as well as Crystal Creations, because they all kind of have a similar vibe. The back of the house was looking a little boring, so I added in a laundry, clothesline, and a wash bin, as well as the campfire from Horse Ranch, and a pea bush that I just kind of tucked in the corner there. I'm also going to place a bunch of the prairie grass around. You can harvest it for your animals, and you can also like search through it and find items. Like I found like tons of nectar and like the little bobblehead things. I want to get into a little bit more of the landscaping here, so I'm adding a few trees just around the house, kind of getting them situated. But before I really get into the landscaping, I want to do the attic because I kind of forgot about it for a second. So I added a few bunk beds from the Horse Ranch pack and then a few side tables also from Horse Ranch. And then I kind of had this moment where I split off the two sides of the loft to try to give them a little bit more privacy, but also not really because they were kind of just like right at the top of the stairs. But I wanted there to be like some area for some more crafting and art supplies. And I was going to add a second bathroom up here, but there is still only 2 Sims in this whole house, so I didn't really see the need to add a second bathroom, and it would also probably be another outhouse if I did that. I also wanted to have a mirror up here, so I ended up swapping out the 2 smaller dressers in favor of the bigger dresser from Horse Ranch. And I just kind of like tucked it into this corner here, and then I deleted all the walls, and then I gave them a fireplace also. It's not going to really matter because their windows are technically open, so I don't really know how well it would heat the room, but you know, it is what it is. Up here in the other side of the attic, I'm going to add a easel, the crystal crafting station, and the piano from Horse Ranch. And then I added this decoration from the base game that just has a bunch of paintings on it, as well as a couple of paintings that are just kind of like leaning up against the wall, and maybe they're not finished yet. We also have Patchy the Scarecrow from Seasons, I think, and then I added a few watering can decorations next to him. And then I added these room dividers over here by the ranch hand beds, just so our Sims had a little bit more privacy. I'm also going to add in a few plants just to break up all the like neutral tones. I also gave them a rocking chair, and then by the fireplace I'm going to add a small seating area for them too. I think this bench is from my wedding stories, but I'm going to add it out by our campfire too. Then this bench that I'm going to add in the attic is actually from Cats and Dogs, so. And then I thought it would be nice to have some candelabras here just for some extra lighting. And then I also added a few lights from the Crystal Creation stuff pack on top of the piano. I added a little blanket basket just in case anyone gets cold and they need an extra one. And our barn was looking a little bit too clean, so I added a bunch of these hay rugs from the Horse Ranch pack. But that is just about all I have for today's speed build. We should be getting to the tour in just a few moments, but if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button because it really helps out. I try to post a few videos a week, so subscribe and hit the bell button to get a notification every time I post a new video. And I hope y'all have a good day. Dag dag!